My luck was mixed. The Zealand hut was full. There were no bunks or seats for dinner, but a friendly and helpful staffer directed me to a stealth site a mile north of the hut. The morning was absolutely beautiful. Since I was camping stealth, I was able to get an early start and enjoy every moment. The Ethan Pond Trail was straight and flat. It curiously resembled an abandoned rail line. But there was no information on the AMC website or the far-out trail guides. I later researched and discovered that this trail was likely what was left of the old Zealand Valley Railroad, which operated from 1885 to 1897. There was even a town of Zealand, which is long gone, that was somewhere in these hills. Although I couldn't confirm this, I would think it's a good bet.
Well, I haven't shared this before, but the Appalachian Trail is hard. Very hard. In fact, there isn't a day that goes by where I think about quitting. The muscles are aching, the joints are sore, I'm always wet, socks are filled with grit. I'm challenged with so many logistical things that make it difficult to kind of focus throughout the day, whether it's food or next hostel. The other thing is the Appalachian Trail generally is boring. Let me put that in context. It is very nice in its own right, but it tends to repeat itself. We're in a forest, and it pretty much looks the same from Georgia to Vermont. We're in New Hampshire now. It's a little bit different, so that gives us some joy. But I shared this with some other thru-hikers, and they generally believe or have the same feelings. But they think about quitting every day. So for those people who harbor the romance of the Appalachian Trail being a joyous experience that's going to change your life, perhaps, but also go into it with eyes wide open. It's hard, very hard, at times quite lonely, and also at times very boring. So, put that in perspective. That being said, I'm finishing this thing. I'm determined. I'm focused. And unless I meet a catastrophe, major injury, I'll be done in 4 weeks. Okay, let's put this in perspective. The Appalachian Trail isn't all dark and dreary and depressing. There are some really good things that I've experienced in the last 1,800 miles. First of all, it's the good people that have supported us on the trail. From the south to the north, irrespective of their beliefs or otherwise, there are some wonderful people giving their time and energy to support us. From the trail angels to church groups helping us out along the route. Wonderful, wonderful folks. Gives me positive perspective and faith in humanity. Then there's the other hikers. Salt of the earth. Boy, some really nice folks. Some very young folks, some very old folks, and a lot in between. These are tenacious folks who put a lot of time and effort to get out here. And if you've got this far, you have a spirit that's really unmatched. So I've developed some great friendships, met some wonderful folks, learned lots from them, and maybe even perhaps they've learned something from me. Who knows? It's been a wonderful experience, mostly with the people. And there's the personal challenge. Pushing myself to the limits every day, day after day. I know it's tough. I know it's challenging, but it helps you grow and develop. So that is wonderful. Anyhow, so it's not all dark and dreary. The Appalachian Trail is hard, absolutely hard. No mistake about it. But there are many rewards as well. So I got evidence of the trail crew. Some log design. So let's just check and see what's going on down here. So this is Gray from the trail crew. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Of course.
This is some of the stuff they're doing.
Yeah. We're building check steps to stop this hill from eroding. So we're digging holes and we're setting cedar logs in them to hold the ground in place.
Excellent.
And then packing them in place with rocks and gravel.
So for those people, translation for hikers, it helps to degrade or reduce erosion and helps hikers with our footing. Thank you very much, Gray. So this gives you an idea what they're doing. They're making some steps. Excellent. Let the ascent begin. The first 6 miles of the day was flat and beautiful. The next 6 is 3,000 foot vertical up Jackson Mountain towards the Mitzpah Hut. So that's what's happening now. The legs are loading up with lactic acid.
The climb from Crawford Notch to Webster Mountain is no joke. I severely underestimated her. Close to 3,000 foot vertical and lots of steep and exposed rock climbs. The day was nevertheless beautiful and the views were excellent. The trail would weave in and out of the forest, giving me sneak peeks of the Crawford Notch, thousands of feet below. The final pitch was steep and dangerous, but on the summit there were some friendly southbounders and great views.
So there's Mount Washington. That's where I'm going. Oh, little bird. You gonna move off the trail so I can get by?
This little bird was right in the middle of the trail and not frightened of me. As I moved forward, it would only move forward, just enough to avoid contact.
It's another little guy. There's 2 of you. I guess the mother's around here somewhere, though.
It's unclear who was more curious, the birds of me, or me of the birds.
My name is Tarzan from the Buffalo, New York area.
Hi, I'm Popo. I'm from Lowell, Massachusetts.
Hi, I'm Veggie. I'm from Rochester, New Hampshire.
So I'm on the real Jackson Mountain. It's quite gorgeous up here. Certainly worth it. I can actually see Mitzpah Hut from here. And bonus, Pinkie's on the peak with me here. Smile for the camera, Pinkie. Enough joy? Time to get to Mitzpah Hut. Okay, we're at Mitzpah. Woohoo! This is one big hut.
Both Pinkie and I secured some bunks and enjoyed some wonderful family-style meals.
Good morning. Beautiful morning. Just leaving the Mitzpah Hut and heading towards Lake of the Clouds. It's not a very far hike. So right now I'm thinking about leaving the bulk of my gear at Lake of the Clouds and doing a slack pack to Mount Washington today. So I'll bag that today. I won't have to do it tomorrow because tomorrow's forecast is looking nasty. Thunder, lightning, hail. So if I can get that done today, that would be safer. I'm on Mount Pierce right now. No time to stop. I'm heading towards Mount Washington. It's quite nice up here. And if you look over there, you can actually see Mount Washington hiding in the clouds right now. I stand corrected. That's actually Mount Eisenhower. So Mount Washington is much bigger and it's behind time. People always talk about what beautiful views they're missing when you have days like this. I think days like this is a super experience that very few people get. We're hiking in a cloud on top of a mountain ridge. That is super cool. And the mist that runs by us is the clouds that other people see way above in the sky. It's really, really cool. I know Lake of the Clouds is down there somewhere. Can't see it with all the clouds. It's a nestled between Mount Washington at about 5,000 altitude or so. Still can't see it. It'll pop out of the clouds. There are mist. Very sure. Okay, there it is, I think. There's the shape of a building. It's shadows. Yes, it is. Lake of the Clouds. Been hiking all morning. You may not hear because of the wind. We're in the approach trail to Mount Washington, and the clouds have lifted, and we can actually see the top. And another bonus is I found Pinkie again on the trail. We're hiking together to the summit. Okay, we're almost at the top. It's windy, it's cold, but the sun is out. It's quite beautiful up here. At the top of the AT, all the tourists get their picture taken. And it's very windy up here. Like the newsrooms.
After backpacking for months and climbing the full 6,400 feet of Mount Washington, I went to the summit for the customary photo. But I found myself in line behind 50 tourists who arrived by car or train. No problem. I climbed the adjacent rock cliff, past the line, and stood in front for my photo. It wasn't important enough for me to stand in line.
So Pinkie and myself are at the cafeteria, just relaxing, charging up our devices, getting some food, just chillaxing until we get enough motivation to get off our butts and get back on the trail.
The Summit House has so many things for tourists: the cafeteria, a museum, and the cog rail. The cog railway, which provides rides for tourists to the top of Washington, was first opened in 1869. It was a marvel then, and it's a marvel today. Eventually, Pinkie and I would part ways, her hiking north, and me back down to the Lake of the Clouds hut. I didn't know at that time, but it would be our last time together. The bunks at the huts are simple and comfortable. The people were wonderful, and the food was delicious.
And in the next chapter of the Appalachian Trail Journal,